49ers. The Rams have dominated this series. They've won 20 times more than San Francisco and have had big streaks, but that's all that is. A big rivalry in the past, and these California teams get revved up when they play each other. 49ers have won 4 in a row after an opening game loss to Philadelphia. The Rams, as Wayne said, could very well be 5-0. They lost 2 close ones, one in overtime to the Jets, and of course the other game to Green Bay. Crowd is up for this game, and we hope you are too, as Wershing kicks off, and Redden will pick it up inside the 5, bobble it, and Redden will carry it out before Ron Ferrari drives him. And as a matter of fact, Redden almost drives Ferrari out to about the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. Vince Ferragamo, the quarterback. The amazing Dickerson at running back. Mike Gooman is the H, or the U-back, as they call it here in L.A. And the wide receivers, Preston Denard and George Farmer. Bain, Hill, Smith, Hara, and Jackie Slater, who's playing the best up front at right tackle. Mike Barber is the tight end.
Dick, just a note, the 49ers, with their injuries, are starting Bobby Leopold, a linebacker, at safety. He hasn't played safety since he was in college at Notre Dame.
We'll pick that up, and it's the strong safety position. 1st and 10 at the 17. And to the air on 1st down for Ferragamo. He's got time, and over the top is Tim Collier. The intended receiver was George Farmer.
Tim Collier is making the start at the left cornerback in place of Ronnie Lott. He's an excellent coverage man with great speed, but he doesn't hit like Ronnie Lott. With LA's running game with Dickerson in there, they need Lott.
Hardy, Kugler, and Dwayne Board start when they go to the 3-4. Ricky Ellison, the rookie from USC. Jack Reynolds, a former Ram. Keena Turner, Willie Harper outside. And as you mentioned, Collier is starting at cornerback, and not Tom Holmoe, but Bobby Leopold at strong safety, Eric Wright, and Dwight Hitt.
But Holmoe's in there now on the second play.
2nd and 10 at the 17. And a penalty flag is down. Bill Bain might have moved on the left side of the Rams line. There's our referee, Jerry Seaman.
False start, number 62.
And it is against Bill Bain, a 5-yard penalty. That'll make it 2nd and 15. Back at the 12-yard line.
False start, number 62. Offense.
The 49ers are anxious to make amends for last year's finale when Ray Wershing's kick was blocked by Ivory Sully to knock the 49ers out of the playoffs. Morton Anderson's kick on the final play of the game gave the Saints their come-from-behind win over Atlanta. David Hill is in motion, and on play action, Ferragamo goes to Farmer, who drops the ball. He had it and let it get through. Do you think they'll work on Collier today?
Well, I think they'd probably know that he's a pretty good cover man, and if they're going to work out anybody, they're going to work on the strong safety, Tommy Holmoe, a rookie, seeing his first action. And they've gone over here twice towards Collier's area, and he's been up to it both times.
This is a down the defense likes. 3rd and long, 15 to be exact. The ball back at the 12. As you mentioned, Wayne, Tom Holmoe, the rookie from Brigham Young, number 28, is in there, and Ferragamo has his work cut out. Henry Ellard and Gordon Jones, wide receivers. Quick toss to Jones. Good catch by Gordon Jones, and Dwight Hicks drive him out of bounds, short of a 1st down at the 24-yard line. Gordon Jones, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, who was acquired before the New Orleans game, the 2nd game of the year, made a good catch here.
Nickel situation for the 49ers, and they blitzed their nickel back that time, Ray Blackmore, and that opened this up. Hicks had to come over and make the save.
So it is 4th down. The 49ers hold on the first defensive effort, and Dana McLemore, who has been hampered with a hamstring, back in action this week. Single safety, and John Misko punting for the Rams and gets off a good kick. McLemore at the 31. And clobbered at the 35-yard line. They'll probably spot it at the 36. And the play made by Mark Giroux. 49ers go on offense with the 3rd-rated quarterback in the NFC, Joe Montana. Bill Ring and Roger Craig. The depleted running back core. Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon outside. And the offensive line, they've been playing awfully well. Harris, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, Farnhorst, and Russ Francis, the tight end. 44-yard punt by John Misko, who has been averaging less than 40 yards a kick, and Montana brings it out 1st and 10. Goes to the air on 1st down. Swing pass to Roger Craig. And the rookie running back from Nebraska picks up 9 yards. Carl Eckern and Jimmy Collins, the inside linebackers, make the stop. And let's check out the Rams on defense. They too go with a 3-4. Something new for them. Instituted by John Robinson, the veteran Jack Youngblood, Greg Meisner, the nose tackle, Reggie Doss, Mel Owens, Collins and Eckern, who made the tackle, and George Andrews, who's played the best of all the Yale linebackers. Harris, Irvin, Johnson, and Cromwell in the secondary, and Harris is playing for the injured Kirk Collins. 2nd down, call it 2 at the 44. Bill Ring, 1st down. Off the right side, Collins makes the tackle. So Wayne without Wendell Tyler, who is out with a dislocated shoulder. They expect him back next week, and Carl Monroe, the rookie, who is injured. They've got to go with these two, Craig and Ring.
Oh, they're both solid backs. They're not Wendell Tyler. You know, Wendell Tyler's the kind of guy you can stop him 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and then he'll break one for about 30, 40 yards on you. These guys don't have that speed and that quickness.
And you can add Jeff Moore to the injury-riddled backfield for the 49ers. 1st and 10 at the 46, and on play action, Montana is going up top for Dwight Clark. He was covered well in the secondary by Eric Harris and Johnny Johnson. Double coverage on Dwight Clark.
Clark, of course, runs a lot of option patterns, Dick. He goes out there and reads the defense and can pull it up and pivot and keep going. And that time he and Montana misread each other because he was going to run a pass pattern towards the post, and Montana overthrew him long towards the corner.
Mike Wilson, number 85, replaces Clark after that long charge downfield for this down. It is 2nd and 10. Montana, quick toss to Wilson. It was high, and he got a hand on it. Incomplete. Joe Montana told us the other day that it's going to be awfully strange coming out to look at a Ram defense that doesn't have Pat Thomas and Rod Perry, that plays the 3-4.
And being in the 3-4 defense. He says the Rams are playing excellent defense. And they've always got Jack Youngblood to apply pressure.
3rd down 10. Because of the injuries, the 49ers will use a lot of one-back offense. Monty Jackson is the nickel. Bill Ring is there to block. And Montana's pass is dropped by Freddie Solomon. He would have been shy of a 1st down by 7 yards anyway. George Andrews, the linebacker, was covering. So the Rams, like the 49ers, stop on defense the 1st time.
I think both teams just trying to get the feel of this game. The Rams came out, of course, with Eric Dickerson, their great rookie running back, and didn't get him the ball their first sequence. But you can bet that now they will.
Tom Morris, the punter. Numbers won't knock you over, averaging 38.7. But the longest return has been only 11 yards. Johnny Johnson and Leroy Irvin, one of the premier punt returners, Irvin is, back for the Rams. 12:57 remaining, 1st quarter, no score. 4th and 10. Tom Morris, former Miami Dolphin, looking for the sidelines, and it goes out of bounds at the 24. Joe Montana on the phone upstairs, and so each team has had a try, and they've come up empty, and so we have a timeout in the 1st quarter following the 29-yard punt by Tom Morris. There are a lot of former USC players on the 49ers going against John Robinson, and Jack Reynolds is a former LA Ram. 11 of his 14 years against LA. Number 64, the inside linebacker, who doesn't need much incentive when he goes against the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 24. Dickerson, the lone back, and in motion is the U-back, David Hill, and the pass is out to Preston Denard, and Eric Wright's not going to let him get away. Eric Wright making the play, and John Robinson, who's still one of the people in this league, I guess, who doesn't maybe take it as seriously. He does take football seriously, but not to the extent that it's life and death.
Nice relaxed attitude he has. Ronnie Lott, who has played for both of them, John Robinson and Bill Wall, said they're a lot alike. Relaxed attitude. They expect a lot, but don't put a lot of pressure on you.
Vince Ferragamo has thrown 6 touchdown passes, but 10 interceptions so far this year. So after the 3-yard gain, it's 2nd and 7, and here's Dickerson with his first carry of the ball game, and he stopped at the 29, picks up 2, And it was Ricky Ellison and Willie Harper, a couple of linebackers, that make the stop.
Harper made a good play. He closed it down fairly well as the big guard pulls right here. Kent Hill. Ellison comes inside and makes the fill, and you people down in Southern California will remember Ricky Ellison as Ricky Gray when he played for the Trojans.
There he is, and he also is anxious to go against not only John Robinson but Marv Gu, who's coach at USC, who is the line coach for the Rams. Don't forget, it was only a year ago he played there. 3rd and 5 at the 29 for the Rams. Ferragamo is looking for Henry Ellard, who didn't have possession. And Tim Collier knocked him 5 yards past the photographers in the sideline.
You may be right at who they're going after, because they've gone after Collier 3 times now, Dick.
And they like Ellard, who came back last week. They like his speed.
Collier, as we said, has got great speed too. Good reaction right here. He's up there about as good as you can be as a defensive back, making contact as the ball gets there.
John Misko, who got up a 44-yard kick his first try, will punt from the 15. Dana McLemore back at the 25 for the 49ers. Another good high kick, and a superb kick. McLemore is back inside the 20, and he's not going to get far. Both of these teams are primed, as you can see. Otis Grant, rookie wide receiver, made sure that McLemore wouldn't get away, and so Joe Montana will bring his team out just inside the 20-yard line when we come back. 11:43 remaining in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 19 for Joe Montana. In motion is Russ Francis, and here's Roger Craig. Can't get underway. Bill Walsh told us last week, Wayne, before the New England game, and again the other day, that he expects Roger Craig to burst out and really have something close to a 100-yard game, and said it last week didn't happen. Now he's hoping it's this week.
He thinks that Craig has the ability to go over 100 yards 4 or 5 times during the season. A little concerned with his running right now. He hasn't learned how to use his blockers well enough yet. He says he crowds the guards on the sweeps and doesn't play off their blocks quite correctly yet.
First pick for the Niners on the second round. 2nd and 9 at the 20. Montana will go to the air, and he's going to go deep for Freddie Solomon, who beats the defense, but the pass is overthrown. He had beaten Eric Harris. And Freddie Solomon, the big play receiver for the 49ers, just couldn't get to it.
49ers have done this in a couple ball games this year. Strike early with Solomon. He had a step or two here. A flag down on that play, by the way. Montana overthrew him by about a step.
Offsides called against LA, and that'll salvage something. We'll bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Encroachment, number 58, defense, lined up in the neutral zone.
That's Mel Owens, the linebacker. Let's check some scores right now for you. Busy day in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns defeat the New York Jets 10-7. Minnesota over the Chicago Bears. It was Washington with ease over the St. Louis Cardinals, and Detroit in a big surprise over the Green Bay Packers. 2nd and 4 at the 25. Montana to throw. He's got Nehemiah in there. He's going for Dwight Clark, and Clark can't make the play. Leroy Irvin was with him all the way and actually made contact as the ball got there.
Because of the running back situation, Dick, Bill Walsh that time did not have a running back in the game. Mike Wilson, the backup wide receiver, Dwight Clark, actually lined up at the halfback spot.
3rd and 10. Bill Walsh, who lost twice in head-to-head battles with John Robinson when they were in the college ranks. Walsh, of course, at Stanford, and Robinson at USC. John Robinson, who has revived the Rams considerably. 3rd down and 4 at the 25. Montana under pressure, gets it away to Bill Ring. 1st down, close to midfield. Bill Ring can do it all.
Bill Ring checking for a blitz, none coming. So when Montana rolled out, he filtered through the line. Montana finds him. That's what he does so well. Montana says when he rolls out and gets in trouble like that, he looks for someone to adjust to him. Bill Ring did.
One of the great overachievers in the National Football League, averaging more than 5.5 yards per carry. He's had 1 million tryouts. glad to be with the 49ers. Nehemiah, number 83, is in flank to the left. Quick pass to Mike Wilson, and he's close to a first down. Nolan Cromwell makes the hit on Mike Wilson, who had 1 touchdown reception each of the last 2 years, and last season it was against these Rams. One thing John Robinson said, you don't want to see the Niners get the hot hand and start to roll on offense.
Well, he said if they do get the hot hand and his team just has to stick with them through that period of time and don't feel that, he says the 49ers will move the ball and they'll score quick, and you can't get down just because that happens, because it'll happen a couple times in the ball game against them. So you got to stay with him the whole 60 minutes. He's got a team that I know will, because he's got him playing extremely well.
And the Niners have the first down. 1st and 10, San Francisco on the Rams 41. We have 9:54 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker here at Candlestick Park. No score. Keep in mind that the 49ers are the highest scoring team in the NFL, averaging some 33 points a game. Nehemiah Clark out left. Charlie Dejournay, number 70, moves in at nose tackle, 4-man line, and here is Roger Craig. Craig dives forward inside the 40, picks up 3. Tackle made by Eric Harris and Carl Eckern. Craig is the 2nd leading rusher coming into the game with 182 yards to Tyler's 295. But he has only averaged a little over 3 yards a carry.
He was the tailback at Nebraska before Rozier. And when that man came on the scene, Craig had to be switched to fullback. He can run from the tailback spot, as he just showed you.
And after Redwine, 2nd down 7 at the Rams 38-yard line. Montana gets it off to Nehemiah. First down, San Francisco. Out of bounds at the 27.
There is no one on the field with speed quite like number 83 right there, Ronaldo Nehemiah, the former world record holder in the hurdles, and people respect that, and this opens up that particular area for him. They play him a little bit loose, and he runs them deep and then makes a comeback move. He's been very successful in that 12 to 15-yard area.
That was an 11-yard pickup. 1st and 10, 49ers at the 27 of the Rams. And here's the pitch back. Ring, Montana, and a screen to the tight end, Russ Francis. And Francis fumbles inside the 20. And it's the Rams recover. Russ Francis fumbled after catching that flea flicker. Leroy Irvin recovered the fumble for the Rams on the first turnover of the ball game.
Usually when you see that flea flicker, the option for the quarterback is to go deep downfield. This time Montana looked downfield, tried to look everybody off, and then go to a tight end screen with Russ Francis over on the left side. Planned play, because Dick Stockton and I saw them working this play on Friday in practice. Back to Montana. He looks downfield, tries to get people to go that way, and then you see the screen set up out here. That was John Ayers in front of Francis. Francis with the ball out and a good hit. It looked like number 58 Mel Owens came in from the side and knocked that ball loose.
It was Owens. Here he comes, 58.
Stripped it right out of there.
So the 49ers were rolling, but they're brought up short on the turnover, and with still no score, LA will take over on offense. In an unusual turn of events, there's no quarterback controversy with the Rams this year. John Robinson handed the job to Vince Ferragamo early on, and he's tried to build a team around here. 1st and 10, LA on the 19. And here's Dickerson. And he doesn't get much, couple of yards. John Hardy, the left end, who's awfully big in his 3rd year, makes the stop on Eric Dickerson. 49ers, of course, aware of Dickerson's ability, and I guess they said you got to get as many people to the ball as possible.
They thought the crucial thing about playing against him was to make hits, contact at the line of scrimmage, because if he gets past the line of scrimmage and gets in your secondary, he is trouble.
Picked up 4 there. It is 2nd and 6. Fred Dean is in the game. The roving linebacker. Keena Turner is out of there at the 23. In motion is Mike Gooman, who's the U-back. Ferragamo looking downfield, finds David Hill, who catches it, and it should be good for a first down. Ricky Ellison makes the stop on David Hill. So far, John Robinson likes this man's blocking, although against the Saints we saw him catch a touchdown pass.
David Hill has been a fine acquisition for the Rams, coming over from Detroit. Has helped them a lot. He runs that move back position back there where he can block, he can trap over the middle, he can lead on the sweep, and if need be, he gets out very quickly in pass patterns.
Former Detroit Lion who was unhappy there. This is the first down for the Rams, by the way, and it comes with now 7:20 to go in the first quarter. Ferragamo looking to throw, dumps it off this time to Mike Barber, and Barber still on his feet, drives forward out of bounds at the 41. You know, we talk about the communication that Montana has with Clark, but Ferragamo has established that with Mike Barber as well.
Barber is the leading receiver for the Rams, and Barber says he can tell by the way, as you watch him here, he'll delay and then out in the flat. Barber says he can tell by the way Montana delivers the ball to him whether he's going to be able to run after he makes the catch. If Ferragamo pours it in there, he says, I know I'm going to get hit right away. If he puts a little bit of touch on it to me, I know I can turn around and run with the ball, and you saw there was some touch on that one. They talk without talking.
That's good communication. 2nd down and 1 at the 41 now. Bobby Leopold is in at strong safety now and showing blitz right now. And here he comes, but Dickerson's going the other way. Dives forward, penalty marker down. Dickerson has a 1st down at the 45, but let's wait and see. And it'll go against the Rams. Holding. 7:01 remaining in the first quarter. No score. I mean, these two teams that have gone at it twice a year since 1950.
Illegal use of hands. Number 56. Offense.
That's the center, Doug Smith. He replaced Rich Saul last year at center. Denver in the 4th quarter. Steve DeBerg replacing John Elway this week. Dallas over Tampa Bay early. 5-0 and against 0-5. Overtime in Miami. Buffalo and Miami tied. And Baltimore leading New England. 2nd and 11 at the 31. Ferragamo. Hardy was giving him a rush, and this pass to Henry Ellard, and no flag. Incidental contact between Ellard and Tim Collier. And you were talking about Tim Collier's speed. He really showed it there against Henry Ellard, who they think easily is their fastest wide receiver, and sooner or later is going to take over for George Farmer at flanker.
Collier ran a 9.400 in college. East Texas State.
Ellard was a 2nd-round draft choice from Fresno State. Played for the first time last week after suffering an injury against the Giants.
The last part of it right here, and you can see Collier in perfect shape on the sideline.
The newest 49er, Richard Blackmore, is in as a nickel back, number 44 for San Francisco. 3rd and 11 at the 31. And Ferragamo gets away from trouble and fumbles. It's still loose. And the Niners have recovered. Tina Turner. For a while, it looked as if Ferragamo had escaped some severe danger with John Hardy coming in, but Tina Turner recovered the fumble, and the Niners are in L.A. territory.
49ers had a blitz on. You see 54 Ferrari coming in. Turner right there. He's the one that gets a hand on him first. Vince loses the ball there, can't come up with it. And Turner on the follow gets the recovery. Ferragamo may have knocked that ball out with his knee because he was breaking into the open when the ball came out. No score, but the 49ers are now in business.
Each side has coughed the ball up, but now the 49ers are in Ram territory. 1st and 10 at the 35 with 6:46 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Bill Ring on an inside handoff and almost a collision between Montana and Bill Ring, and that could have been disaster.
John Ayers, the guard, was pulling and ran into Montana that time. But Montana keeps his composure in those situations. Remember, Dick, we did the game last week against New England, and his first 2 attempts to pass Montana, he tripped and fell going back. They were recorded as sacks. On his 3rd attempt, he completed about a 12-yarder and came back in the huddle and told the team, he said, if I can just stand up, guys, that's the way we'll move the ball all day.
Why not? Jimmy Collins, Carl Eckert, inside backers made the stop. 2nd and 8 at the 32. Pitches to Roger Craig, and Craig is thrown for a loss. Carl Eckert once again When we did the game with the Saints, Carl Eckern's name was mentioned more than any other player. If anyone has played up to his maximum, according to the Rams, it is Carl Eckern in his 7th year from San Jose State. He's coming off a knee surgery.
Made some big hits, and he said the adjustment to the 3-4 for him from the 4-3 wasn't all that bad, because with so many teams in the league using a 3-4 defense in practice the last couple of years, they were playing the other team's defenses, and he got used to it that way.
3rd and 11 now at the 36-yard line. Nehemiah is a wing back to the left, and Freddie Solomon is wide right. And Montana's gone down. Charlie Desjardins and Reggie Doss were both there, and it was Doss who will get credit for the sack out of Hampton Institute.
Remember, we talked to John Robinson last night. He said, we asked him, who's playing good for you? He said Reggie Doss is having a fine year. He came from the outside that time, working against a big tackle, Bubba Paris, who was actually a rookie, although he's in his 2nd year. He didn't play last year, and had him beat right away.
Full-time starter for only the first time last year is Reggie Doss. So now the punting team is in. Leroy Urban on the right and Johnny Johnson on the left. Tom Orris will punt from the 42-yard line. 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score. Hesitate a little bit, and this is headed for the corner. Does it go to the end zone first? It stops at the 1 and goes in. It'll be a touchback. A touchback, and the Rams will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. We'll be back to Candlestick Park. He doesn't have great speed and not a big threat, but Mike Gooman, a solid, good blocker, is a danger out of the backfield for the Rams and could catch the deep one if he can get through.
Alternates with David Hill at that move back spot. And John Robinson likes him a lot.
They're at the 20. Ferragamo's toss is caught by Preston Denard and out of bounds. Eric Wright made sure he stayed there. Preston Denard, leading receiver the last 2 years for the Rams, and one of the favored receivers, if not the favorite, for Ferragamo.
Coming back off an ankle injury. He was injured in the opening win against the New York Giants when Lawrence Taylor came in and got him on a late hit.
Final score, Denver defeats Houston. We'll give you 2 more after this play. 2nd and 3 at the 26. Here's Dickerson. And Dickerson gets past one, breaks almost Holmo's tackle, but will have the first down anyway. And Eric Dickerson brings it out to the 36-yard line and has a first down for the LA Rams, and almost broke Tom Holmo's safety's tackle.
Well, that's what John Robinson said about him. He said he'll take a 1-yard loss and turn it into a 4-yard gain, and turn a 4-yard gain into a 9-yard gain. He also broke a tackle by Jack Reynolds just across the line of scrimmage on that last play.
1st and 10 at the 36. It's all Dickerson, really. If you look at the offense, coming into the game, carried the ball 106 more times than Barry Redden, the second running back. In motion, David Hill, the U-back, and Dickerson this time off the left side, and it takes the converted safety Bobby Leopold and company to help wrestle him down at the 42. And David Hill, the U-back, with a good block. When we talk about the U-back, what do we mean? Each team has different names for this.
David Lewis right there. He was in motion, blocking up the middle now. And you see the cut by Dickerson. And number 45 is Leopold, who is normally a linebacker, playing at strong safety in situations today for the 49ers because they know he'll force on the run extremely well.
There is black shoes, Bobby Leopold. Everyone will wear the different kinds of footwear, but Leopold will wear the black footwear, and he changed his number from number 52 to 45 for this game. There you see the black shoes, and an injured 49er is nose tackle Pete Kugler. Kugler has played awfully well. In fact, Bill Walsh said maybe better than he ever thought he would play, but he has to be helped off here. Jack Youngblood, who's 33 years old, and his longtime battles with Keith Farnhorst will tell you more about as this game goes on.
Farnhorst, the offensive tackle, has played against Youngblood 19 times regular season.
Here's Jeff Stover, a second-year free agent from Oregon, who's a raw talent, didn't play college football. His background is in track, actually field, with discus and a shot put, so he now has to play nose tackle. as the Rams come out 2nd and 4 on their 42-yard line. No score, 3:38 in the first quarter remaining. The U-back. David Hill is in motion, and up the middle, Barber has the catch into San Francisco territory, and another first down for the Rams. Jack Reynolds makes the tackle, and so Ferragamo is nickel and diming the 49ers right now and moving it well.
He uses Barber a lot that way, but Barber can run, can get deep on you. A lot of people underestimate his speed.
8 and 9.
John Robinson, Jeff Kemp, Steve Fuller, the other quarterbacks. There is Fuller, number 4, who, by the way, was a roommate at Clemson at college with Dwight Clark. 1st and 10 at the 49 now in the 49er territory. Ferragamo going in the air, and he's going to go deep for Ellard. He was hit after he let go of it, and Collier makes the interception for the 49ers. At the 7. Second interception of the year for Tim Collier. The first one he ran back for a touchdown.
About the 4th or 5th time in this ball game that the Rams and Vince Ferragamo have gone after Tim Collier over here on the corner. This ball was overthrown considerably here. Ellard is number 80. If Collier doesn't get this ball, it looks like number 22 Hicks could have come over and made the play from center field and free safety.
And a terrific pass rush by John Hardy really disrupted that play. So Tim Collier, former St. Louis Cardinal, who returned an interception against his ex-team earlier this year, brings the ball back to the 49ers as Bill Ring carries past the 11 yards on first down. Gain of 3. Jim Collins and Mel Owens make the stop.
If you're going to have an interception, though, and if there is such a thing as a good interception, that was for the Rams, because it did pin the 49ers back inside their 10-yard line. Ferragamo has had numerous interceptions this year, but John Robinson says that, he doesn't want him to quit attacking. He doesn't get on him about it.
Solomon and Clark come out to the left. Almost like a punt, that kind of an interception. In motion goes Bill Ring. 2nd down and 7, and here's Roger Craig, who slips on the grass. At the 11-yard line, Mel Owens plays tag with him. Here's Tim Collier, who originally was with the Kansas City Chiefs before going to St. Louis. Comes out of Dallas. In fact, comes out of that South Oak Hills High School that produced so many great pros.
He started at both Kansas City and with the Cardinals, so he's a veteran out there.
This is the first game that the 49ers have played where they have sodded the infield, where the baseball's Giants have played.
Shades of 2 years ago, too, when this field was getting a lot of bad publicity, and you just saw Roger Craig slip on a cut.
3rd down 7 at the 11-yard line. Montana batted down at the line by George Andrews. So Andrews, top-notch linebacker who has really emerged, has knocked it down. It'll be 4th down. But right now, for an NFL Today update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
For the 6th straight week, the Dallas Cowboys will have to come from behind. Thompson goes to Owens, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead 10-7. And let's go back now to Dick and Wayne.
All right, Brent will be following that game as well as the Eagle-Giant battle going on. Tom Orris will punt from his end zone, and Leroy Irvin is a single safety at midfield. Good kick by Tom Orris, and Irvin's going to go way back to his 30. And upended at the 40-yard line, and Ron Ferrari gives a little Mark Gastineau dance after knocking Irvin to the sky. A 59-yard punt by Tom Orris.
Ferrari, 54, is usually the first one down. Earl Cooper, number 89, right there with him as Irvin starts upfield. And it was Ferrari who made the initial hit.
Doesn't he usually?
Oh, he's a kamikaze. That's how he made the team last year. Ferrari played for Mike White at Illinois. White called the 49er coaches and said, if you just draft this kid, I'll guarantee you he'll make your team on special teams. They spent a number 7 on him. He not only made the team on special teams, he now starts in their nickel defense.
1st and 10 at the 40 for the Rams. No score, 1:09 remaining in the first quarter. And Eric Dickerson cutting inside, and Jim Stuckey was right there to stick him. If you take a look at the 49ers up front, they really have little to choose from for who's effective. They use 6 guys basically, and of course Kugler out of there cuts it down. Fred Dean, a rotating linebacker, but they got Board and Hardy and Pillars and Stuckey, and they all seem to do the job.
They're all around 255 pounds. They're all about 6'4", and they all have the same quickness and speed. Those are their assets. They don't have any real great big strong defensive linemen that you sit out there and stuff people, so they move around and they're quick.
At the 43 now. Half a minute remaining in the first quarter. The U-back, David Hill, is in motion. Ferragamo has enough time. He drills this one, and Tim Collier tips it away from Ellers. What an extraordinary performance in this first quarter by Tim Collier.
Amazing coverage. You just can't do it any better than that. He made a move on that ball when it was in the air, went around the receiver and got a hand on it without making contact.
The 49ers have been awfully fortunate with Carlton Williamson out with a broken leg and Rick Jervis, his replacement, who played well, now injured. Now they're going to their depth again, and Collier's coming through for him, as you saw in that play.
They're at the bottom of the cupboard now, though. I'll tell you, they can't afford to get anybody else hurt back there.
John Hardy is shaken up. We saw Kugler helped off before. So the injuries continue for the 49ers. Dickerson inside, fumbles. The whistle might have blown. Let's see. No, the whistle had blown. In any event, it'll be 4th down, and Fred Dean made the hit on Eric Dickerson. There he is. And Mike Barber recovered the fumble, but they ultimately ruled no fumble. Dickerson so far has gained 25 yards in 6 carries in the first quarter. And that's doing a pretty good job, isn't it?
Yes, but he's a time bomb. You know, it's just a time bomb. It's like the old days when there was Jim Brown and Gale Sayers and those people. You stop them for a while, but you can't stop them all day.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Candlestick Park. No score between the Rams and the 49ers. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker back at Candlestick Park. John Misko, who had tryouts with the Bills and the Jets before sticking with the Rams, will punt from his 30-yard line, and Dana McLemore is back for the 49ers. No score as we start the second quarter. Ball bounces at the 20 and takes a Ram roll and will be down inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the National Football League is prohibited. The 49ers have started 3 of their 5 possessions inside their own 20, and the last 2 at the 8 and now the 7-yard line. So they've got a long way to go, not making life easy for Montana.
The Ram defense is done a fine job today on every occasion out there.
Ring and Craig are the backs. Montana putting it up to Dwight Clark, overthrown. Eric Harris covering on the play. For the 49ers, with no points in the first quarter, came into this game with 164, but their great success this year has been the second period when they've outscored teams 69-16. This has been their quarter. Joe Montana, 3rd rated this week in the NFC behind Steve Bartkowski and Lynn Dickey. Niners have rushed for only 9 yards so far in the game. Pass for 61. 2nd and 10 at the 7, and they're going to try and pick up some yardage on the ground. Roger Craig is hit at about the 10 by Leroy Irvin, forcing well from the cornerback position. Craig started the game, or started the season, as a fullback and having to switch to running back because of the injury to Wendell Tyler. Tampa Bay continues to lead the Cowboys in the second quarter, and the Eagles, after trailing early, now lead the Giants 7-3. Kansas City in a shocker so far over the LA Raiders, and Seattle leading San Diego. 3rd down and 6. The ball at the 10. And they're going to give it to Roger Craig, who's not going anywhere. George Andrews, among others, gang up on him. So Montana tried to switch. Normally he doesn't run the ball at 3rd and 6. And right now this ball game has turned out to be a defensive battle, at least through the opening minutes of the second quarter.
I think they have each other pretty well handled out there. No one has fooled anybody so far, and it's just been a game at the line of scrimmage. through the first quarter and then 2 minutes into the second one.
Charlie Desjardins is on the ground for the Rams. There have been 3 turnovers in the game. Each side has fumbled once, and Tim Collier intercepted a pass for the 49ers. Niners 4-1, having won 4 straight. And John Robinson coming out to check on his injured nose tackle. But right now, while we have a moment, let's go for an NFL Today update, and that'll be Brent Musburger in New York. What have you got, Brent?
Dick, Ron Jaworski still has a hot hand for the Philadelphia Eagles, and his favorite receiver is Mike Quick. Here is Quick making a splendid catch against the Giants, and now the Eagles lead at 7-3. Back to Dick.
Thank you, Brent. We saw Mike Quick in the opening game of the year for the Eagles do pretty well against the 49ers. Leroy Irvin is back in safety, and Tom Morris punting for the second time from his own end zone. The last time he kicked it out 59 yards. Not quite as long, and Irvin has a chance to run it back at the 49. Leroy Irvin turns the corner. Penalty flag is down as Irvin is knocked out of bounds at the 33 by Eric Wright.
I think the Rams special team that time just did an excellent job on the 2 wide out of the 49ers. They doubled them up, kept them on the line of scrimmage. When Irvin caught that ball, there wasn't a 49er within 20-25 yards of him.
Those are tough kicks, those low line drive kicks. And Leroy Irvin can each up with those. There's that, what is now becoming a commonplace foul, an illegal block on the receiving team following the kick return. We have no score. Just started the second quarter, 13-14 to go. Here's Jerry Seaman.
Illegal block during the return, number 54, receiving team.
Howard Carson for the Rams. And we're going to take a timeout right now. The Rams, a game behind the 49ers in the NFC West. No score, second quarter. Rams have done a whale of a job on defense against the high-scoring 49ers, holding them scoreless so far as you look at them on the sidelines. And right now the offense is in its best position, field position all day, as they start out at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. It's their deepest penetration. And Vince Ferragamo with Eric Dickerson, the setback. Mike Gooman is the U-back, and here is Dickerson. Look at that move Dickerson put on at the line of scrimmage to avoid being tackled right there. Instead, he picks up a good 5 yards. Eric Wright makes the stop, and there's that cutback ability that Dickerson has that really worries the Niners.
Yeah, and look at the block that Dennis Hare, number 60, got on a blitzing Keena Turner, number 58, right here, that wiped him out. Dickerson cut up in behind that block. That was the key right there, but this guy doesn't go down without falling forward for a couple more.
He's listed at 218. He's up to 227, and they say eventually he'll be playing at 235. It'll be tougher to bring down. Pete Kugler is back in nose tackle, number 67 for the 49ers. It is 2nd and 6 on the 43 for the Rams. Pitch to Dickerson. He's got Hara blocking, and Eric trying to move forward is shy of a first down by about a yard.
Going to bread and butter now, aren't they? They try to throw the ball around a little bit their first few possessions, and that hasn't worked. So you just got to give it to 29 and make sure he gets it 30 times a game. So I think that's what we'll see on this drive.
Willie Harper made the stop on Eric Dickerson, who's from Sealy, Texas. And his Longhorns, of course, he's from SMU, with the Longhorns of Johnny Johnson, victorious yesterday over Oklahoma. Eric Dickerson has gained 35 yards now in 8 carries, and it is 3rd and 1. At the 38 of the 49ers. Dickerson. Stop short. And Ricky Ellison. Is he fired up or what?
Ricky Ellison and Leopold in there again, number 45. So that strategy seems to be paying off for the 49ers. Ellison, the inside linebacker post, along with Jack Reynolds, stays behind the play. Now watch Dickerson cut back here. 69 will get the first hit, and then 45 on top right there, Leopold. Leopold's like having another linebacker in the game, although he is playing safety.
So the Rams are now 0-5 on 3rd down opportunities, and with 4th down, John Misko will punt, and Dana McLemore is up at the 10-yard line. 10:55, clock running, second quarter, 0-0. Short kick. But it takes a Ram bounce, and they're going to down it inside the 5. In fact, how's the 1? Otis Grant just said thank you very much. Eric Dickerson. They compare him to Chuck Muncie with perhaps his size. Marcus Allen with his just all-around ability, and maybe O.J. Simpson with his burst of speed.
Yeah, but you know, in a year or two, they'll just be calling him Eric Dickerson. They won't have to compare him to anybody because he's going to make his name on his own, and he's got the ability to do it.
Yeah, maybe the franchise is right. We have a timeout. Well, Dana McLemore was on the other side of the field, so he couldn't catch this as Misko hit it off almost the side of his foot, and so it was really made to order for the Rams. Just a circumstantial kick that paid off for L.A.
Exactly.
The 49ers' last 3 possessions have started from the 8, the 7, and now the 1-yard line. Montana rolling out in the end zone. And Freddie Solomon has it for the first down at the 23-yard line. Eric Harris defending.
Planned rollout by Montana. Practically, they call it a dash, a couple steps straight back, and then rollout action. Watch the job that Solomon does, keeping his feet in. Makes the catch, and then drags them both. Great throw, great catch.
Second leading receiver, Freddie Solomon, on the 49ers. 1st and 10 at the 22. Going way out in motion is Roger Craig, and Montana looking right, going up the middle to Russ Francis, who fumbles again. This time the 49ers recover, and Bill Ring was right there. So twice today, Russ Francis has fumbled the ball after catching and being hit, and this time Ring fortunately was there.
I think Francis is going to get the message that there's some hitting going on out there today. That's the second time he's been brought off the football.
And that would have been most unfortunate because the Rams would have been in golden position. Second down and 6. Ring comes off. Roger Craig. See a lot of one-back offense. And Bill Walsh had a necessity today. 9:35 remaining in the first half. No score. Roger Craig hit on the left side. Jimmy Collins, the inside linebacker. Collins has replaced Jim Youngblood, of course, in the left inside backer spot, mostly because Youngblood, moving along in age, is 33. But Collins, who replaced Eckern last year, he's out of Syracuse in his 3rd year. They like him because he's quicker and hits harder, and I think he's going to be there a while.
He's had some injury problems in the past, but he legitimately won the job this year and is playing well.
So Jim Youngblood now moves to backup, and Collins is in there. Earl Cooper is also in there at tight end number 89, as is Russ Francis. 2 tight ends. 3rd and 4 for Montana. And he's got Cooper. And Cooper has a first down at the 40. They're yelling Coop. He changed his number from 49 to 89, and 3 of his 10 receptions have been for scores this year.
And he changed his position from fullback to tight end, and he's one of the best right now at running after he gets the ball, using his old skills as a fullback and a running back in college. Good effort by Earl Cooper.
An 11-yard pickup for Earl Cooper. Jack Youngblood made the stop. 1st and 10 at the 40. No score. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Bill Ring looking for room. You give him, and he'll take it. Picks up 8 yards. And George Andrews stops it.
Number 30 is kind of the people's choice here at Candlestick. He's kind of a blue-collar worker that they like. Watch Ring, number 30, straight ahead blocking here. Play designed to go up the middle. Puts his head down and just always keeps his legs moving. Keeps that forward drive.
Bill Ring, they like him fresh toward the end of the game, wouldn't they?
He's a guy that they use in their possession situations towards the end of the game.
2nd down and 2, and Ring goes in motion. And they give it to Roger Craig, who has the first down into Ram territory at the 47-yard line. And so I think the 49ers want to be like the Rams. They want to churn it out with good old-fashioned running. Reggie Doss, Jim Collins finally stop him.
Well, people were highly critical of the San Francisco offensive line at the beginning of the year, and one of the national magazines said, in fact, you know, for run blocking at the 49er line probably couldn't punch a hole in a screen door. They took umbrage to that. Didn't like it at all. As you look at Keith Farnhorst, number 71, he'll be lining up against Jack Youngberg.
From that point on, boy, they've protected Montana well and have opened up holes. Fumble. And the Rams have recovered. And a misconnection between the center, Brett Quillen, and the quarterback, Joe Montana. And there's the man, Jimmy Collins, who recovers for the LA Rams. And so what was turning out to be a glorious drive for the 49ers, starting at their own 1 and moving into Ram territory, some 52 yards, is now all down the drain.
Watch the snap now. Fred Quillen, the center, to Montana. There'll be a guard pulling here. It's Ayers over there, but he didn't have any effect. The ball was already on the ground, so it wasn't him that knocked the ball away from Montana. Just bad connection between the center and quarterback.
We have had 4 turnovers, and they're all even now at 2-2. No one has dented the goal line. 6:23 to go, but now it's the Rams' opportunity close to midfield. We'll be back. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. An interesting game of field position because the 49ers have started the last 3 times inside their 10. And the Rams have begun from their own 40, the 49ers 47, and now their own 46. So they've really had a field position edge. Vince Ferragamo. The U-back, Gooman in motion. And Ferragamo. And that's caught by Denard. No, it's incomplete now. It's incomplete, and Preston Denard came out of that pile. It'll go incomplete, touch the ground. I want to tell you about those 2 excellent horse races next week, the Jockey Club Gold Cup and Champagne Stakes.
Devil's Bag, a young 2-year-old colt. They call him the strapping colt.
Yes, they do.
He's strong.
And the 2-year-old sensation, leading candidate for Horse of the Year honors. So join us. Should be 2 very special races next Saturday on CBS Sports, 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 Pacific. That's the time for the Jockey Club Gold Cup races next week on CBS Sports Special. Ferragamo is 6 for 13 now for 50 yards. He has thrown 1 interception. 2nd and 10, gets it out to Denard again with a blocker in front of him. And Denard and Eric Wright fighting off the block of Kent Hill, number 72, made a good play on Denard.
Well, it was good deception up front that time by the Rams, too. They took their left offensive tackle, Bill Bain, and pulled him to the right. He goes across. Kent Hill came out, number 72, and gets a block here on right. Denard in behind, and it's good yardage.
3rd down and 3 for the Rams at the 47. The 49ers in first place. They know that the Saints have already beaten the Falcons. And if the Rams win, we'll have a 3-way tie for first place in the division. Ferragamo's pass, and Henry Ellard, the intended receiver. Collier covering on the play. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
49ers made a last-minute change defensively that time. Tim Collier was late getting on the field over on that cornerback spot, and I think Ferragamo saw that and was a little bit anxious and threw the ball a little soon.
McLemore from the University of Hawaii was a 10th-round draft choice. Made the team basically for his special teams abilities and led the Niners in kickoff and returns. Punt returns. John Misko from Oregon State kicking it away. Good high spiral, and this one will sail into the end zone and out of the end zone. That landed 9 yards in.
Airmailed that one.
John Misko punting it away 47 yards. And so the 49ers will try again. No score in this game. A couple of boxers here in this game. Counterpunchers, you might say. 5:53 to go. Look at that. Now, I don't know what they have against number 96. That's Doug Barnett. It should be of the Rams. That's not Doug Barnett, by the way. That is.
Looks like he just came back with a game with the Redskins.
Yeah, what did he ever do to anyone to warrant that? Hanging from the upper deck with an arrow through him. Anyway, Montana on 1st and 10. And Bill Ring makes a terrific catch at the 25-yard line. And he had to extend himself fully. Carl Eckern on this tackle.
Well, watch the way Montana released this ball. He had a lot of pressure on him back in the backfield and had to throw it almost sidearm to get it through. Watch him drop down and throw it sidearm and put great touch on it out here to Ring.
Ring caught a pass for 24 yards earlier in the game. Pick up a 5, 2nd down and 5 at the 25 for San Francisco. Nearly 5 minutes remaining. Roger Craig with a head of steam, barrels to the 30, and appears to have another first down. Eckern again on the tackle. So Bill Walsh says we've got to have Roger Craig figure in this. Now, Carl Monroe is lost with a hairline fracture of the foot. Wendell Tyler's been out for a few weeks. So Craig is under pressure here as the rookie to give the 49ers, along with Bill Ring, the work on the ground.
Wendell Tyler has been great for the 49ers when he has been healthy. He'll be back next week, maybe in 2 weeks against the Rams for sure. They asked him this week, you probably really want to play this game against the Rams. He says, I do. He said, I got a 3-year contract here, though, so I know I'm going to get some more chances.
David Lewis, number 51, replaces Mel Owens, left outside linebacker. 1st and 10 at the 30 now, and here is Craig again. And he gets a few yards. Talking about Wendell Tyler, both teams, you may say, miss Wendell because, of course, the Rams don't have him. He scored 5 touchdowns against the 49ers in the 2 games last year, and, of course, the 49ers wish they had him in the lineup.
I fear with the Rams, you'd have to have 2 footballs.
Yeah, that was a good deal for them, you might say. Obtaining Houston's draft pick and going for Eric Dickerson, changing the face of this LA club. Montana 9 of 15 for 103 yards. Faces a 2nd down and 6 at the 34, and in a crowd drills it to Dwight Clark, who has a first down. You know, he's not amongst the league leaders right now, but if you compare what Clark has done after 5 games now and what he did after 5 games in '81, he is dead even in receptions coming in, and of course he was the NFL's leading receiver that year.
Now he's going to get his catches. He's in the slot right here. Now most of the time he doesn't have a definite pattern to run. He made a pivot right there and Montana got the ball on him, but he goes down, reads the defenses, and then makes adjustments accordingly. The Rams do much the same thing.
He caught 13 the last 2 games. Cromwell made the tackle, as you saw. So it's 1st and 10 at the 43 for San Francisco. Montana getting out of a rush situation. Penalty flag is down, and Joe is going to head for the sideline. Lewis chases him, but the penalty flag is down, as we said. Time remaining, 2:32 in the first half. 0-0. Surprising turn as far as the scoreboard goes, and that'll go against San Francisco, the holding penalty.
Dick, you get the feeling now in this ball game that this is going to be a real grim-jawed game right down to the last couple minutes. The 49ers, the highest scoring team in the National Football League. The Rams have been putting points on the board.
The Rams as a team of Jake LaMotta's. They're not big, but they're physical and like to punch at you, and he says maybe he got a little annoyed with that.
Raging Rams.
Yeah, right. 1st and 20. Back at the 33. In motion is Eason Ramson, the 3rd tight end. And Bill Ring on a swing pass is hit by Carl Eckern at the 30-yard line. There is no question that the LA Rams are an active, hard-hitting defense. They're not a physical defense. John Robinson told us as we talked to him yesterday, the one thing we don't have is the one big stud on defense the other teams have to worry about.
Well, this is just as good as you can play a screen by a linebacker. He read it, ran through a block by number 68 John Ayers, and made the hit. Eckern grew up here in the Bay Area, just about 10 miles from this stadium.
We have our 2-minute warning right now, and Joe Montana is coming to the sidelines to talk things over with Bill Walsh. You can see the blood on his nose. He suffered a cut on the nose, bridge of it earlier, and of course he seems to be all right there. So our 2-minute warning taking effect right now here at Candlestick Park. Still no score as Bill Walsh, John Robinson have their charges out there in a tough game. This is a 2nd and 24 play in Montana to Roger Craig. Tackled at the 31-yard line. They've got to get to the 46 of the Rams. David Lewis, the former Tampa Bay performer and USC collegiate. He was waived by San Diego. He was a starter at Tampa Bay, and of course John Robinson has Gary Jeter and David Lewis and several of his former mates, and there are a lot of them, as we've already mentioned, on the San Francisco team. There's Jeter. Bill Ring comes in the game. 3rd down and now 16 at the 37. The 49ers are 2 of 6 in 3rd down conversions so far today. Barely a minute remaining. Each team with a full complement of timeouts. And Montana gets hit, but gets it off to Eason Ramson. And Ramson gets it to the 46. Shy of a first down by some 8 yards. Monty Jackson, the nickelback, and the former L.A. Raider made the tackle. And Joe just got rid of it, Wayne.
Well, he's having problems finding his initial receiver open down there. The Rams are using 2 deep zones and then 5 zones underneath. So they've got the short stuff covered pretty well. And sticking with them pretty tight man-to-man in a kind of a man-to-man sense as they run through the zone. So Montana is really having problems finding people.
Leroy Irvin will be back to receive the kick. Montana now has completed passes to 9 different players today. Tom Morris from Ohio State and Miami is having a fine day, maybe his best day as a kicker for the 49ers. And they're going to let the clock run out here. And it's been a defensive battle. Reminds me of the Southeastern Conference defensive battles here. They're going to take a delay of the game with 3 seconds. Set it back 5 yards. I guess with Leroy Irvin back there, you don't want him to touch the ball in the last play of the half.
Not going to have much to say about it because he's going to get a chance to.
Number 7 offense.
I tell you, if the Rams do as good a job holding up at the line of scrimmage as they did on that last punt, they'll get something going.
Irvin, with the reputation of returning punts for touchdowns, is back at the 20. You know, Tom Morris is going to be trying to kick it away. Gets it away after the kick hit the ground, and here's Leroy Irvin. Irvin at the 25-yard line and will be dropped as the clock runs out. Eason Ramson makes the stop on Leroy Irvin, and that is the end of the first half here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And the high-scoring 49ers have nothing, and the LA Rams have nothing. And we'll be back